All right, today we're getting into the tech behind the KKV2 token. And really, we're talking about a huge puzzle in crypto. How do you get a single token to exist on multiple blockchains without completely falling apart? Let's dive in. The project has this awesome tagline that just nails it. It's a fun nod to the token story for sure, but it's also hinting at something much bigger, a technical goal, to get beyond being stuck on a bunch of separate, disconnected streets, or in our case, blockchains. So, that's the big question, isn't it? It sounds great to say a token is for the blockchain, but when you've got Ethereum over here, Solana over there, and a dozen others popping up, how do you actually make one token feel native to all of them at the same time? How do you do that without making a complete mess? Okay, so to really get why the KKV2 approach is such a big deal, we gotta look at how things used to be done, the old way. And that usually means dealing with something called wrapped tokens, which honestly can create more headaches than they solve. Yeah, think of a wrapped token like a photocopy. It's not the real thing, it's an IOU. When you wanted to move a token from, say, Ethereum to Solana, the old way was to lock up your original token in a vault and then issue you a synthetic copy on the other side. This splits everything up into these little islands of value. And even worse, those vaults, the bridges, they become massive, juicy targets for hackers. And this is where it gets super clear. On one side, you've got these wrapped tokens. They're just synthetic promises, right? That leads to scattered liquidity, different prices for the same token on different chains. It's a mess. But on the other side, that's the goal. A single, native token with one unified supply, no matter which chain it's on. And that brings us to this solution, the hero of the story. KKV2 uses this incredibly powerful framework called Wormhole Native Token Transfers, or NTT. This is the tech that lets the token break free from all those fragmentation problems and just exist as one unified asset everywhere. So what exactly is NTT? Well, it's not just another bridge. The best way to think about it is like a universal passport system for your tokens. It's a set of rules that lets a token be genuinely created on one chain and destroyed on another as it moves. This ensures that the total supply across every single blockchain stays perfectly in sync and never, ever changes. So how does it actually pull this off? Well, the mechanism behind it is, honestly, it's beautifully simple, but the result is incredibly powerful. It's called burn and mint, and it's the engine driving this entire system. Let's just walk through it. Say you've got your KK tokens on Ethereum and you want to move them over to Solana. You start the transfer. Right away, your tokens on Ethereum are literally destroyed, burned. They cease to exist. Then the Wormhole network, which is like a group of super secure witnesses, verifies that the burn really happened. Once they give the green light, an identical number of brand new, totally native KK tokens are minted fresh on Solana. It's like teleportation. The token vanishes from one universe and reappears in another, completely whole. Now, to see how this works in practice, let's look at the actual numbers. The project started with a really smart split supply. They minted 210 billion tokens natively on Ethereum. And at the exact same time, they minted another 210 billion tokens natively on Solana. And that brings the total unchangeable supply to 420 billion tokens. Here is the absolute magic of burn and mint. That number can never go up. It is mathematically impossible to create more tokens out of thin air. This guarantees one single, predictable supply across all chains forever. So, we've seen the how, which is super cool, but now let's talk about the why. Why does this even matter? What are the actual benefits of doing things this way? This is where all that tech translates into real value. The advantages here are just massive. First, you get real price unity. No more of those weird situations where the same token has a different price on different chains. The supply is also elastic. It can flow wherever it's needed most, but it's also incredibly secure. It's all governed by code, not some admin wallet that can get compromised. Everything is transparent and auditable on the blockchain. And maybe the biggest win? It's completely future-proof. When the next big blockchain comes along, KEKE can be there on day one as a native token. No mess, no fuss. This table just lays it all out perfectly. You see the 210 billion on Ethereum, 210 billion on Solana. See that governance column? It's controlled by a DAO or a multi-sig wallet, meaning it's decentralized. No single person is in charge. But that last row is the real takeaway, a total supply of 420 billion that's flexible, decentralized, and can be natively minted wherever it needs to be. So look, if you only remember 3 things from all this, let it be these. KKV2 is mintable, so it can be born on any chain. It's synchronized, so there's always one source of truth for its total supply. And it's ready for whatever comes next in this multi-chain world. You know, this all leaves us with a really interesting question. We've just seen how this tech solves a huge, fundamental problem in crypto. So you have to wonder, are we looking at the future right now? Is this burn and mint model, powered by frameworks like Wormhole NTT, going to be the new gold standard for any project that seriously wants to thrive in a truly connected, multi-chain world? It's definitely something to think about.